Hey there, I just wanted to do a quick video to kind of walk through the basics of Google Drive and Google Docs. I remember feeling extremely overwhelmed when I made the switch from just using Google Docs for my documents to actually organizing Drive and having that be where my portfolio and my client projects lived. So just wanted to kind of walk through that. When you log into Drive for the first time, it'll typically put you on the home page here. It's kind of a 50-50 shot on if it displays a totally random mix of files in here, if it does these folders very nicely. I'm sure a Google Drive expert could explain that, but I've just found it to be kind of random. I typically come into my drive here, and that way I get a list of things. And that's really all that I use this left bar for. Like recent, I don't really go into starred. I just learned for the first time right now that you can even star things in Drive, so that's not something I use. Uh, Yeah, I think that's really the basics there. Now, by comparison, let's come into Docs and see what that looks like. Get into the right account here. There we go. So when you come into Docs, you can see all of your files, but it's a lot less organized. Every single thing here lives in a specific folder, and for my brain, it just does not work to have this long list of things. So for me personally, I am never going to docs.google.com. Not really ever doing that. Mostly live here. So let's go into our portfolio section. The way that I've done this is I do it all in Drive. When you come into this and click on New over here on the left, you'll see that there's New Folder and Folder Upload. Folder Upload will pull the actual folder off of your computer and put it in here. And I have found that when you upload from your computer, whether it is a file upload or folder upload, it takes longer to load. And to me, a long load time is time that a client can decide, oh my gosh, this is taking too long. I'm going to go find someone else to write for me. I don't have time for this. So that's why I try to do as much as I can native in here. That said, while I'm bouncing around in here, you will see that I have .docx files. Those are from clients who reached out, needed to see a portfolio immediately, and because I felt pressed for time, I just tossed them in there. So do as I say, not as I do. I plan to clean that up after I stop recording this video. Okay, so with that out of the way, new folder is typically what you're going to want. For the purposes of this, we'll call it portfolio 2, and we'll just go in here and mess around. Okay. General things to know. Whenever I'm uploading to my portfolio or for a client, I come in here, I click New, and I click Google Doc. Now, typically, I write everything in Microsoft Word. That is where all of my stuff lives. So I just copy and paste it in here, and that works for me. Now, you can also just build it live in here. If you prefer to work in Docs, Google Docs, then make the document, type it all in here, format it in here. That's totally fine. Um, and the way the tools work in here is fairly similar to pretty much any other word processor I've worked with. You've got your undo, your redo, print, spelling and grammar check. You can zoom in or out if you want to see up close or further away. And then this is all text formatting. You'll notice that there aren't like the fonts that Google Docs has. It isn't every single font under the sun. So if you are writing things in a separate app, i.e. Microsoft Word, and you're using a fancy font, you might have to pick a different one here. Little things like that, I think, are important to be aware of. Another thing that you're going to want to do is utilize these headings, because if you just do plain text, it makes it a lot harder for your clients. So just like I'm going to type some random stuff here, 5 reasons to hire a mindset coach. Let's say that's my article, right? I can come in here, I can make it bold, I can make it a big size. That looks great. I can come down, go back to normal size, take the bold off, and then I can type in the introduction of the blog here. I could come in and go bold, bring this up again, go one, reason number one, come down, and then if I wanted this to be regular content under this header, we would expand on the reason here. But there's a lot of problems with this, okay? The first thing is that your client can't really navigate in here well. Notice that nothing happened over here on the left. Now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to take this and make it heading 1. I'm going to apply heading 1. Okay. And if you notice over here, it just started a little outline automatically. If I come in here and I say this is heading 2, same thing, it's in there. Now let's say I have additional question to add more value. And then you would come in, do heading 3. And as you can see, it nests everything really nicely. It makes it really easy for your clients to see what is actually happening in this document. Whereas if you don't have all this formatting, it's just honestly, I when I first started writing, a client taught me how to do this because he was spending so much time fixing it. So they do notice this, it does matter, and it will make their lives easier if you take care of this. Let's see. So we went over the spelling and grammar check. We went over how to do the formatting, fonts and stuff. You've got some other tools in here too. Honestly, I really never use these beyond spelling and grammar. I'll take this one, but that button right here on the bar does the same thing. To title your document, you just come click in here. If you have something formatted as heading 1 like we did, it'll automatically grab that. But if for any reason you don't want that, you can just click 2 or 3 times to highlight it, delete it, and then type in whatever actual title you want. And that's that. In terms of moving stuff around, you're probably going to eventually have, additional folders and things, and you'll want to reorganize. So let's say this is going to be real estate content. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can click and drag it, really, really easy. You can also click on the 3 dots over here, click organize, and move. Does the exact same thing, just gives you a list to choose from if you prefer it that way. And that's really the long and short of navigating it. I think the one last thing to be aware of is that you can do a few things from here too. So say that you get this document done, you already know where it wants to go. You can move it from here as well. They give you lots of different ways to do the same things, which I find is usually convenient. And that's really it as far as putting it together. The last thing is sharing permissions. If I were to just take this link and copy it and paste it to the client, it would not work. It would not take them to this document. It would not let them see it because I don't have permissions set up. See how that says where I hover over here in the top right, private to only me? Got to fix that. I find the easiest way to make sure that everybody can see everything is go to your main portfolio folder or the folder for the client if it's a finished project. Click this little drop down, hover over share, don't click it. When this little next menu pops up, then click share. And I honestly changed this to anyone with the link can view. That means they can't touch it, they can't comment, they can't edit it, they can't delete it. They can just see it. And that way I never, ever, ever have to worry about, oh shoot, did I give them permission? Do they have a Gmail address? Can they see it? These are all real problems that I've had to deal with over time. So then when you're done with making that permission functional, you just copy the link. That is the link for the whole portfolio that I just grabbed. Say you want to send them just the link to your real estate thing because that's what they're talking about. Same thing, share, copy link. The nice thing about doing it up here is that everything in this folder automatically has it applied. So not only is Portfolio 2 viewable by anyone with the link, so is real estate content, and so is this article. This will save you so much time over adding it yourself. Just make sure that when you do it, it's view only. Don't want people being able to mess with your stuff. And that is about it. Please let me know if you have any other questions, and I really hope that was helpful.